What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Let's get to Donald Trump. He's still up live right now. See what he has to say.
Been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
So he's left. He's left the room.
Well, the president has just finished his address.
Okay, he left the room. I was going to try and get that to you as quick as I could live. Donald Trump has entered I consider, the third phase of Wag the Dog. Now, I told you guys Wag the Dog was what he was doing. And it's been a media blitz. Every day there's something else. Like I told you, today was going to be some more news that Susie Wiles going to still be talked about. And then they were going to throw some more stuff into the fray. Donald Trump comes out with some random ass, I want to speak to everybody type of bullshit. And what do? He come out and just spread lies. Oh, the country's doing well, and I'm bringing back this, and I got some new plan of getting you guys, like not necessarily health care, but we're gonna give you some, it's gonna be called Trump RX. You can go get your pills and everything like that for cheaper. And I'm like, they can do that right now. There are people out there, like Mark Cuban has an app that you can go get your shit for cheaper. I mean, that wouldn't be doing anything but just going to Donald Trump. You might as well just go to Mark Cuban's shit. You don't get it for the same price. That's all he's doing. He created a plan that's Trump so that the Americans can come and go and do exactly what Mark Cuban is doing and get cheaper by buying it from other countries and bringing it here. They ain't got shit to do with the government. Some Trump shit he's talking about. And even if it is something that he planned with the government to make it happen, to try and put the power behind the government to kind of like, I guess he put those other people out of business. I don't know. But this comes out of nowhere. Nobody's ever heard him talk about it. Nobody's knowing he's doing anything. It is all about them trying to save face. They know that the country is tired of Donald Trump. They know it 100%, that they're tired of him. And that's what he's doing right now. Today, if you got a chance to watch it, you can go back and see it. I was just trying to get up early. He came up at the top of the hour. And if you got a chance to see some of it as I was listening to it, this man is out here trying to save his presidency. Because as you can tell, if you've been paying attention to anything that's been in the news or any articles that have been coming out, Donald Trump's approval rating, and you know he loves this shit. It ain't no doubt about it. Donald Trump loves ratings, right? His approval rating at this particular point, and this is including Republicans as well, is at 36%. Now, I'm shocked as that. He should be in the 20s, 17, almost single digits, because the man has done nothing. But you got your loyal Republicans and MAGAs that are going to stick with him no matter what. He could shoot their grandma right in the head and they'd be like, I'm still down with him. He didn't mean to do it, while he's sitting there laughing. They would just seriously be like, you know what, grandma lived a long time. They'll make an excuse. But the ones who aren't batshit crazy have jumped ship, even though they might have been temporary batshit crazy. And I mean temporary for like almost a damn decade, but still. Now Donald Trump is going down so far as to see the ratings that they have to do something. Now, there was so much crap that was in the news today in small segments that they've been spraying everything. And here's one thing that I realized today that, and I told you guys before, what I believe. Again, I don't have the facts of this. I just follow what I see. Alan Dershowitz is dirty. I totally believe the girl who said that he raped her, the underage girl that said that he was a part of having sex with her that through this Epstein shit. I believe the girl. She pulled out and he acts like he's free and he didn't. No, I believe the girl. Why? Because Alan Dershowitz and that one prosecutor that gave Epstein the greatest deal on the fucking face of Earth and Mars, both of those people were shady. And they made this astronomically crazy deal. And today, in the midst of all that, there's an article that comes out, and who's coming to save Donald Trump once again? Alan Dershowitz. What is Alan Dershowitz saying? He's saying that the Constitution about having a third term as a president, is ambiguous, as if it's like up in the air, like they're just tossing it, like it may be, it may not be. Why is he working on this? Why is he working on a guy that he knows to be a pedophile? He knows who he hung out with. They were both sending letters to Epstein. They were both close to Epstein. And they both got allegations of raping a child. And now this man is out here trying to say, this lawyer that everybody respected at one point, this constitutional lawyer, everybody respected. Now he's saying the Constitution don't mean anything. How do you become a constitutional lawyer and say you love the Constitution, and now you're trying to tear it apart by saying it's ambiguous? Well, we haven't thought of it as ambiguous the entirety of the 200-something years we've been here, 249. We've never said it was ambiguous. Whenever this actually was codified, because I don't believe it was at the very beginning, ever since then, it has been, we can't do that. Just 2 terms, max. Boom, gone. If we could have had 3 terms and it's ambiguous, hell, we would have gave Obama at least 4 terms. We would have never seen this prick ever become president. But that's what Alan Dershowitz did. Hey, DJ, what's going on? I see you. Mark D, I see you. Who's that? Lauren, welcome. Eric, welcome. All right. So that doesn't make any sense. But you know what does? Birds of a feather flock together. These pedophile, horrible human beings, they have been accused of being a pedophile. Both of them. These horrible human beings are uprooting laws left and right. All about these Epstein files, I believe. Because I believe Alan Dershowitz's name is in it. They haven't said anything, but I just truly believe it's in there. You can't be accused of doing that and hanging around the dude that does that, and one of the girls just, like I said, Alan Dershowitz is one ugly bastard. There is no way in hell you can look at that ugly ass man and say you saw him somewhere else and say like that wasn't him. You got him dead to rights. If you see that ugly man on top of you as a girl seeing somebody on top of her, you're going to tell me that ugly dude, oh, he looks like another guy. No, no. The monster with the crazy, like, his teeth look like they're half wooden and mustard and shit. It just looks crazy. That dude, you can't tell me she didn't recognize him. You can't tell me that. I'm not going to believe it. He don't look like nobody else. You ain't seen pictures of anybody else that look like Alan Dershowitz anywhere near. Now, if she had said that and he had never been to Alan Dershowitz, was never his lawyer, was never around him, then I'd be kind of suspicious about him. Like, maybe not, but he does. Ain't nobody really looking like him. But he was all up in that circle. All up in it. Even after he realized he was a pedophile and got the greatest deal or whatever, this man was still hanging around him. 2019, when they really finally caught him, Dershowitz was still hanging with him. So you can't tell me, you can't tell me that man had nothing to do with it. You can't tell me. Birds of a feather flock together. And you weren't hanging around him just to be working. You was hanging around his parties and shit like that too. Sending them birthday cards. I can't remember the last time I got a birthday card from my lawyer. I've sued a couple of times. I ain't heard from him since it was over. Then they hit me up and say, "Hey, Merry Christmas." It never happened. And never did they have a personal conversation or letter sent to me after the law was over. We got a professional relationship. I'm not a gang member. If I'm a lawyer, I ain't gonna be hanging with the gang. I saved your life, but hit me up when you need to save your life. But we ain't hanging out. He just chilling with a pedophile as he continues to fuck with little kids. And saw See, the morality of people like that, yo, I can't get with. I don't care who it is. If it was a family member, the moment I find out, I'm like, oh, I can't get with you, bro. I'm out. I'm out. And on top of that, you better move because I'm calling the cops on the way out. On the way out. I'm protecting them. Fuck you. I don't care who. Like I said, I don't care who it is. They've been a family member. I would have ratted them out because I'm not. It ain't about the family member. It's about the person they putting through pain. It's about saving them. You don't lost yourself. You don't lost your soul doing some shit like that. You ain't the person I thought I knew or the person I used to know. If you're doing that shit, you need to be locked up. And it's wrong for me to support you instead of supporting a child that's crying as you sitting here having a great time busting off and shit. Nah, fuck all that. You might have caught these hands before I walked out. But these dudes was all giddy and happy and taking his money and hanging with him and loving on him and writing them letters. No, you don't take part in evil and then act like you a saint. That ain't even. That ain't even gonna happen. Taking part in evil and then walk away like you're a saint? Nope. Bring out these Epstein files. I guarantee you find Alan Dershowitz in them. I guarantee you find Donald Trump, and they already have in them. That's why Susie Wild tried to break it out and say, yeah, he's in them. Well, we already knew that. Like I said, all they did was tell you what was already in there. Donald Trump has not disavowed Susie Wiles at all. In fact, she was on a plane with him today in an all-white coat. You'll see in one of these videos that I have, walking off the plane while he's sitting there giving a conversation. This is when he was attended a ceremony today because of the 3 U.S. soldiers who were killed, personnel in Syria. Their bodies arrived today, and Pete Hegseth was there, although you don't see him in the video. But as he got off, he said some things that we said were true way back. Way back. What did I tell you? Why were they over in Venezuela? I told you the moment I realized they was blowing up boats, and it had shit to do with drugs. When I found out the drugs that they were talking about was supposed to be on these ships ain't even being made in Venezuela. That's cocaine over there, and that the fentanyl that they wanted everybody to be scared of because that shit was killing people in tiny, tiny doses. I mean, microscopic doses. Your ass would be dead. Ain't no bringing you back. You just had to watch a mug die. Yeah, that shit was coming from China. Or actually, yeah, an agent of that they have to mix with that is in China, and it goes through Mexico. So right on our border, that's where that shit's coming in droves. Over through some ships, some people's anuses, some other types of mules, through boats and through trucks underground. That's where that shit's coming from. Right at our next door, right partner, right border, right there. That's where it's coming from. And we ain't blowing up shit over here. So why the hell we over there? And I said what? We're over there because they want oil. That's what I said, like day one. They want oil. There's no drug that they're saying is coming over there from over there. It doesn't make any sense. Which makes everything they're doing over there highly fucking illegal. There's no war. They made that shit up. There's no strategy that anybody knows of because they can't tell you we coming over there to take the oil. They got to say it's some kind of war on drugs. Remember the last time, black people, they had the war on drugs? We ended up in jail. A lot of people's fathers and mothers and family members who were drug addicts were in jail for life. And remember when they had this white drug shit that was in Virginia and all that? Oh, they need help. Oh, let's help them because they're on drugs. We don't need to arrest them and incarcerate them. Let's help them. As they're robbing people, stabbing their neighbors, and all the crimes that was going on with crack cocaine was going on with these other the drugs that they were taking in Virginia and all these white neighborhoods. They were robbing people. Yeah, they were hurting people, killing people, raping people, doing whatever they could to get their drugs on welfare and all that. But let's save them. Let's put them in jail for life. And they hunted us down in poor community, stopping you trying to catch drugs on you, planting drugs on you. And here they are over here trying to do the exact same shit, but they have international waters. They don't even treat them like they were treating black people. They were killing us. Yeah, but they're trying to justify it. Over there, they blowing up boats and then telling you there's drugs on it. Did you see drugs on it? What you think those white things are? I don't know. Did you check? What do you think they were? Because you know what's so crazy about it? You blew it up. Humans survived, so that would mean some of the drugs survived. Did you go into the waters and get the drugs and confiscate them so that it doesn't wash up on shore and somebody end up taking the drugs and getting it to America? No, you didn't give a shit about that. Those drugs were not the main thing. The drugs were to kill the people. The bombs were to kill the people. That's what it was about. It wasn't about the drug. Because you didn't try to save the drugs. If they're in the water, that means what? That it can actually get into the water, for one. People get to have high cocaine in that particular area in the water. Doubt that'd be the case, but hey, you never know. But washing up on shore, possibly. Then what? The gang members just come up there and swoop it up. And here's the thing. They know where you bombed their boat. So once you don't bounce, they can go there and collect their drugs. But no, you didn't try and get the drugs. You got the bodies. Because that was sending the message to whom you want to send the message to. And that's who you're trying to send it to. Maduro, the president, the head dude there. You want him to know you're going to F him up just like you F'd them up. See what we're doing to them? We'll do it to you. And we don't have to worry about laws because ain't nobody going to fuck with us. Even though right now we should be, and even though we're not at war. So they can't call it war crimes, even though that's what they're trying to say. These are just straight up murders because you got to be in war. That means them fighting you back and you just winning. You're taking out people without arms. You're taking out people who couldn't defend themselves. They knew this shit going into it. This has always been, and like I said, about oil. It took them a while of killing so many people, blowing up so many boats, and people who survived. The first set of people who survived, they took them out of the waters and sent them back to their own country. Didn't arrest them, thought they was bringing drugs. They was trying to kill us. And you gonna tell me that you caught the people who was trying to kill our kids with drugs and let them go back and get on another boat somewhere else? Like they can't take a plane back to the drug dealers and get back to doing what they was doing before? But you just let them go. But that's what you wanted. You wanted to get rid of drugs and these people you saved. The second time, you're like, we don't need any witnesses to what we're doing. And you took them out. But it was all recorded. That's why they don't want to give it to you. Pete Hegseth came out, was it yesterday, saying that, oh, we're not going to give you top secret. Top secret, fuck that, dude. You don't pass top secret. Because you allowed all those tapes to come out except for this second one, which you know you did dirt. You wouldn't let that one. All of it's dirt. And Democrats in the House and Senate, y'all need to be investigating the hell out of these people. Fuck all this like talking. I know you got to start up your process, ask some questions, but you need to send this shit. And if you guys have all these lawsuits, you need to start suing these people for breaking the laws in this country. Those aren't the ways we go about things militarily whatsoever. Never have, and now we are. You keep letting it happen. This is what we become. See, Donald Trump doesn't represent just him. He represents all of us. And you let him play with this shit. The president should know he's working for the people. We're not working for him. And you guys, Republicans, are working for him. Well, you should be working for your constituents, not for some orange dude that's sitting over here who can barely remember to wipe his ass, if he can actually wipe his ass. It's insane that we would sit here and allow this man destroy everything it took this country to get to 250 years, and we've let our country go to shit with some orange dude. Not once, but now twice. The last time he went, our country went through the worst pandemic in fucking 100 years. And this man couldn't handle it. They handled it better back in 1919 than this fool did. They wore masks and didn't make it a political thing. And to say that masks didn't work was crazy with me, because you go back to 1919, they wore masks then. That's what helped it. So you're going to tell me 1919 strategy, it didn't work back then, even though that's pretty much what they had? They had really nothing else until they got some kind of vaccine for it. It took them way longer. If you study history, you see they did the exact same shit. Go back and look at the pictures, wearing masks. And here we are, even with RFK Jr. being ahead of our medical in this country. And this dude was like a mask like denier, a COVID denier at first, talking about it really wasn't nothing, believing the bullshit and the hype, and you could take horse pills or whatever the hell it was, that it just doesn't work. And like I said, go back and look at history. 1919, when we had the Spanish flu, whatever, I believe that's the name of it was back then. They literally wore masks. You go see pictures, they're wearing masks. Every country was wearing masks. You act like it was only America that was doing this and it wasn't working. Every country was wearing masks. Hell, in Japan, they was wearing whole ass suits, like hazmat suits. Some of them. This country, it just is. I know we're the home of the brave, or home of the free, and all this shit like that. But at some point in time, you have to really think of it as a team. This free mentality of I'm free to fuck anybody over whenever I can. It's like that should not be the mentality of this country. You come here, many of the people have come here as immigrants. You came here to be a part of something. This thing we call America. And too many of us are out here acting like we don't owe this country nothing. And what I mean by country, I mean your fellow fucking citizens, brothers and sisters. If it was a war, we'd all have to bound together and fight or die. And it has to come to that for some of these people to come together. It shouldn't be that hard. But we deal with that on a day-to-day basis. We deal with it on a day-to-day basis. You go back to the topic at hand. Alan Dershowitz is dirty. He's trying to mess with the Constitution. To me, that's un-American. He's trying his best to finagle it, just like he finagled this shit for Jeffrey Epstein to get him out of prison, to put a pedophile back on the street. Somebody he knew was a pedophile. I understand you got to be a lawyer and you got to do what you got to do. But once you see somebody fucking with kids and you knew that shit was happening, you should have bounced. You shouldn't have represented them. You can't represent somebody when you know they broke the law. When you knew ahead of time and you seeing a crime about to go down, you can't be saying, oh, well, I'm his lawyer. No, you turn them in. Can't be part of crimes and shit and somebody, oh, I'm his lawyer. Attorney-client privilege, not when you know the crime is about to happen. It's crazy. I mean, anyway, this is what Dershowitz did today. Threw up a cover. Like I told you guys, this, to me, is the third phase of WAG the dog. If you don't know what WAG the dog means, I explained it yesterday, but if you weren't here, basically, think of a dog, and the main body of the dog is the big issue. The tail keeps wagging and got you over here looking at the tail. You're paying attention to the tail when the body itself is the problem. Donald Trump going through what he's going through right now, the body of it is the Epstein files. He's in them massively. So much that they had to get things out of it. They've been holding on to it, and they were the party about, as soon as we get in, we're going to release it. Well, Donald Trump had to have known he was all in them. Pam Biden didn't have to tell him shit. He already knew. He just needed to know exactly what he had on him. Did he have them dead to rights, or did he just have some vague-ass pictures? So FBI has been doing investigations to try and figure out like how deep Donald Trump is in it. Not the fact of whether he's in it or not. How deep is he in it? Do they have pictures of him? Is he with the little children? Is he doing something dirty? Does he have any, if he got photographs of them all together at every fucking party, and he bribed people for a living, there's got to be photographs. There's got to be video. You can't tell me you didn't keep that shit. Every last one of these people who bribe people, you can't bribe them with what? I'm going to tell. With what? They're going to believe you or me. I'm the star here. You're the rich dude that's creepy. What you going to tell them that I can't say this dude's crazy off his rocker? They're going to believe the star. You mean the dude that can grab women by their vaginas? That star dude they're going to believe. Not you, Epstein. So I don't even know where you're coming with that. That's easy. You're not afraid of that. You're afraid of somebody who's got evidence. So we know just by common sense that Epstein has evidence. Where he keeps it, if it's still in the house, if it's hidden somewhere, whether the FBI has it, that's a question. But you can't bribe people with just words. You got to have evidence that you prove to people. Like, look at here. Look at here. I got you. Now, I need $4 million. That's how you get people. You don't get them by, you was just with that little girl. I'm going to tell. That ain't going to do shit. Tell whom? It's your word against mine. And this girl, you ain't going to bring her out because you tricking her with everybody. So who you going to tell? Nobody. And you leave and be gone. You got to have evidence. Nobody's stupid. I don't understand how we sitting here still debating if there's evidence or not. There's got to be evidence. Whether Ghislaine Maxwell destroyed it or not, we don't know. But the fact that if there's evidence, we already know that's the case. You don't bribe somebody with just words. Anybody. You bribe your little brother or sister, you got to have something on them. I'm going to tell mom that you did this, that, and the third. Well, how do you know? I got an item that shows I got it. I took a Polaroid. You got it. It ain't a situation. It's just your mom just going to believe you over the other child. It's just simple shit. And why we're still debating that is ridiculous to me. Are you going to release it or not? And I like the fact that they're saying to Donald Trump and his minions, Bondi's about to leave, not Bondi, but Bongino. When they said to Bondi and Cockeye Cash Patel and all them, if you do not release the documents and you think you're going to just give us the documents and say, oh, this is all you got and hide them type of thing, you got to understand everything you have has receipts. When they get information into the government, it is multiplied more than once. When an investigation is done, it's in more than one place. It's not just where you see it at the FBI and where you see it at the DOJ. It is redundant. It is somewhere else in multiple files. Judges have some of them. The courthouse and shit has some of them. Donald Trump, the DOJ, whatever, they have some of them. You can't sit here and say, oh, 3,000 files aren't, they were never there. They're multiplied somewhere else. And if they come up with the fact, that's what they were saying, they're going to take them to court. If it comes up with the fact that you give us a portion of the documents that don't match up, we're suing you. Love that, Democrats. Love that. Prior to December 19th, you put them on notice. If they don't deliver, you're going to sue them. And here's the thing. What's great about that? Donald Trump may be immune to it. He may not have any issues at all because, they said that he can't get sued and all this other stuff. He has immunity. Pam Bondi doesn't. Cash Patel doesn't. Cockeye Cash Patel. And Dan Bongino. Oh, boy. Dan Bongino's on his way out, y'all. It's been verified. He is on his way out. Now, there's multiple articles. Again, it's the news. You got to be sensational. Some. I've seen many of them. Dan Bongino's already gone. Dan Bongino got fired. Damn, I don't give a damn how he went about it. But the fact is he's still there. His last day is supposed to be December 19th. But you'll see some of these news places, and some of these other people speaking, saying he's already gone. I'm like, nah. He said he wanted to leave earlier. You know what's so crazy? What was being stated was that at the press conference he was at last time, I think it was either about the shooting or them catching somebody, whatever. He was going to announce it at one of those press conferences. I'm like, how you going to announce it when you talking about important shit? You going to mention, oh yeah, and by the way, I quit. That would have been weird. So obviously he didn't do it, but from what they were saying, he was going to do it then. Quite odd. Now, turns out December 19th supposed to be his last day. He is gone. Even Donald Trump admitted it. But he admitted it in a way that, kind of like a nonchalant pass by type of thing. This is Donald Trump. I'm going to see if I can get it up here. After he had been at that memorial or ceremony for the men and women, or the 3 U.S. personnel killed. After that, he was speaking to the press. And we're about to listen to it. Look for Susie Wiles in this white coat, I don't know if it's fur or whatever, behind him. Still there, walking off all happy. I told you this shit is rigged. There is no way in hell this man, Donald Trump, doesn't have that gene in him to forgive somebody who fucked him over. A reporter just literally asked him a question he don't even want to hear anymore. What about Jeffrey Epstein? All right, Miss Piggy, you wouldn't be able to do that. I passed a cognitive test, which you couldn't pass, because they asked him a question that he gets pissed off about. A woman calls you have an alcoholic mentality, and that's supposed to be a positive thing. This man literally came out and said, well, I've always kind of said that I was kind of that way. No, you didn't. You was always against that. You was talking about how your brother was alcohol and all the stuff like that back in the day when you said that. You never attached yourself to them whatsoever when it came to that. You was like, I've never touched a drink. You was better than them. That's the way you treated it. Now you're saying after she said that, oh, I've said that too. I kind of said it. She's doing well. She's doing good for us. Then you know this man and these people are wagging the dog on y'all, making y'all think that the big picture is the little tail, and the little tail in the body, the huge body, is the small picture. But no, that's because just like in that movie Up, the dog and shit, every time something moves, you looking over here where everybody's talking, the main topic is a squirrel. That's exactly what they're doing. They got you looking over here at the squirrel when you should be focusing on what's right in front of you. And all those things I mentioned, them blowing these boats up and it's illegal, right? Jeffrey Epstein files, right? Donald Trump and all this money he's getting from other countries, and the plane he's getting from other countries, and economically, the tariffs, all that shit. They want you to stop talking about that because his ratings are going down. You start talking about this other shit, they think they can be saved by that, because that doesn't talk about who Donald Trump necessarily is and what he's doing. It's talking about what his ailment, so you can feel sorry for an alcoholic. You can't feel sorry for a tyrant that's doing shit that's fucking up your life just so that he can enrich himself. So you look over here instead of looking at the main topic at hand. That's what Donald Trump and all of them are doing. And it's crazy. There's only been like one reporter that has even came close to this. It's weird to see so far ahead of the game that you see people starting to discover shit, and they're like, catch up. That one, I forgot who it was. I think it was on MSNBC today. Someone brought up the question about Susie Wiles on that Mom's View show, how she was glorifying Donald Trump. And it's like, it just doesn't make sense that she's saying all these things about Donald Trump, but she loves Donald Trump. A lot of this doesn't make sense. I'm like, I'm watching the screen like, catch up. It's Wag the Dog. Pay attention. Didn't catch it. Was just like, it's just weird. On to the next topic. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you're right there. You're about to grab it. And yet you're asleep at the same time. Sleepwalking. I'm like, wake up already. Today, Donald Trump had Alan Dershowitz come out with an article basically saying that he can possibly go for a third term. Of course, they got to put that narrative out there because they know if Donald Trump doesn't become president again, they're all going to jail. So now everything has to be, it's ambiguous. That's the start of the conversation. They're going to keep on trying to go down that path, but it also takes your eyes off the ball because that should end up a dead end. But if it starts to give up some steam, which the Supreme Court is on their side, and they said we're going to take up that conversation, now you're going to be focused over here and not at the main point of Donald Trump doing what he did, like I said, at the very beginning. He's doing all that shit in Venezuela for oil. And when you start to think about that, this man literally killed people. Pete Hegseth and all these military men and women who should know now, because of Donald Trump saying it, that he has been killing people to steal oil away from a country that he thinks belongs to him. And here is Donald Trump literally saying what we said at the very fucking beginning. And people didn't believe us. They were still thinking about the drugs and it was legal. Some drugs were coming through. He's just helping. No, siree. This is what it was all about. And let's hear it.
It's the blockade. Not going to let anybody going through that shouldn't be going through. You remember they took all of our energy rights. They took all of our oil.
Get it back. I'll be there in just a second. All right. It should start here.
Okay. Not going to let anybody going through that shouldn't be going through. You remember they took all of our energy rights. They took all of our oil from not that long ago, and we want it back. But they took it. They illegally took it. Oh, Dan did a great job. I think he wants to go back to his show. Getting land, oil rights, whatever.
He said Dan did a good job. I think he wants to go back to his show. That's the explanation that he's talking about with Dan. But that was in between, sandwiched in between two separate questions about the same thing. The first part of it that you hear is he's talking about they took oil from us. And we're like, what? And I think what he's talking about is that we had some kind of contracts with them, at least our oil companies did, and they canceled the contracts, which they have a right to do. Now, I don't know all of the, I've been doing research just a little bit, so I'm not going to step into knowing everything about it until I get actual facts. But it's from the way I kind of like learned more about it, is like they started, all they did was say, this is our country and this is our oil. And basically, we're claiming our shit back. I'm reclaiming my time. You know what I'm saying? I'm reclaiming our oil back. And the oil is going to go to help our country, not to help yours. If you want to buy something, cool. But you're not going to take our oil reserves and just do whatever the hell you want with it. This is ours. It became like a national thing for them. Just like we say America first, all they're saying is Venezuela first. And they got one of the largest oil reserves in the world. And Donald Trump and his minions are trying to colonize their oil and say the other presidents let it go. I'm like, well, then we had contracts with them. We didn't own them. We had contracts with them. They shut down everybody's contracts and said Venezuela first. This is all our shit. It's not yours. This is not your land. You don't own no land here. I don't know what you're talking about. Everything you was being able to do was lease, just like anybody else. You come over here, you lease some shit. We said no. We're gonna naturalize it, just like you guys want. Donald Trump and these white nationalists want to make America a white country again. They want to make it great again. Well, Venezuela said, we want to make Venezuela great again. And so they said, we don't want no motherfucking people out of the side of the country owning shit when it comes to our reserves. It's ours. Then they got people off the land, all the oil companies from overseas and shit like that. Y'all got to go. Now, this is what I know about it as of now. I will dig deeper. But this is what I know of it as of now, and therefore kick them off the land, out of the area, and said, you guys, this is ours. What's wrong with that? I don't understand that. How is it that it's a problem that you're going to take full control of your oil productions and other countries are over here saying, wait a minute, it's our oil. What? How is it your oil? It's on our land. Do you live here? Are you a Venezuelan citizen? No, then shut the fuck up. You know, would you, America, allow somebody from China, let's say, to come over here and say, this is my land. This land is my land. This land is your land. But over here, don't fuck with my shit. It's all my oil. You get the no, and they're taking it. They didn't even buy it from us. They're leasing it from us. And you gonna sit here and tell me, oh please, we'd have a war in a heartbeat. So Donald Trump is trying to tell a country by blowing up their citizens and pressuring them and talking about they're gonna have some kind of land attack, which that means we're at war. Because he wants their oil, in which it is their fucking oil, not ours. How is that right, America? They have the right to kick anybody off their land that they don't want. Donald Trump is kicking Venezuelans out of this country and putting them in jails in other countries. He ain't even sending them back to Venezuela. He was sending them to the worst prisons in El Salvador just because they were Venezuelan. You got to understand something. This shit has been going on. They've been attacking Venezuelans since jump. So in all honesty, this may be like phase 5 or 6 because they didn't go after like Mexicans or, any other Latin people much, even though there were some that got attached, but they've been looking for Venezuelans. They made the Venezuelan gang the demon. This entire time, they've been going after Venezuelans just so they can get their oil. Demonize them so America hates them. So whenever they blow them up, we just like, it is what it is. You try to kill us, it's time to kill you. But they weren't even in this country that strong at all. It was all a lie. The question is, how many of the Democrats are going to stand by the American citizens and put these people in jail for doing what they're doing? And how many of them are going to ride along with it because the billionaires want this to happen? I'm keeping my eye on you too, Democrats. When you sit here and tell us that these drugs are something that they should be bombing, it's okay. I know, I see you. That's you talking through your billionaire lens. You're not talking to the American citizens. You're putting us in harm's way so you can give your billionaires some more money, some rights over another country. We're over there bullying them, and in this country telling them that bullying is not a good thing. But you're over there bullying a country that has these reserves rightfully theirs. It's on their soil. You're trying to say you can claim it just because you have weapons? Sounds like you guys are your ancestors. Instead of talking about you're better than your ancestors, you're exactly the same, if not worse. Your ancestors threw diseases in the blankets while being nice to the natives, knowing that they was going to kill them, having dinner and exactly having food with them, learning about their culture, so to speak, and then you strike and kill them to take the land. You're doing the exact same thing now, but instead of giving them blankets, you're just bombing their constituents, the people who live there, their citizens. You're killing them, you're terrorizing them, just because you want them to give the oil back that they rightfully took back to themselves because they wanted to make Venezuela great again. Hypocrites and evil bastards. Where's the lie at in what I'm saying? Where's the lie? This man literally came out and said exactly what he's doing. Continues with the fact of taking back some shit that don't belong to him or to America.
They took it away because I think he wants to go back to his show. Getting land, oil rights, whatever we had, they took it away because we had a president that maybe wasn't watching. But they're not going to do that. We want it back. They took our oil rights. We had a lot of oil there. As you know, they threw our companies out, and we want it back. Well, I think the message this evening is we inherited a mess, and we've done a great job, and we continue to. And our country is going to be stronger than ever before very soon. Thank you.
Okay. Now, I want you guys to understand something. He didn't mention a president when this happened. He just said they took our oil and we want it back. Right? It would give you the perception. He said not too long ago too. He wouldn't give you an exact time frame because that will work against him instead of work for him. Because this man is literally talking about something that happened under Hugo Chavez, and that's in the late 90s, early 2000s. He made it seem like it was like Obama's presidency or that like it was not that long ago. This shit's been at least 25 to 35 years ago, 25 to 37 years ago. He's trying to get something that they took away. That president is no longer, or that leader rather, is no longer leading Venezuela. Hugo Chavez. It was done on Hugo. That's like somebody coming from China and saying, yo, we made a deal with Reagan. And yeah, y'all gonna have to come up off some land that y'all took from us. We made a deal with Reagan. Reagan said he's gonna give this to us. If we did that, where we just gonna blow up y'all ships until you give us. Man, that was Reagan. Reagan been dead. What are you talking about? We ain't honoring shit that Reagan said back then. And we wouldn't. So in 1990s and 2000, their country made a decision to take back and naturalize their country, every resource that they have, so that they don't end up resource broke. They kicked everybody off the land and said, look, this is our shit. We're naturalizing. We're making Venezuela great again. It's our shit. We'll sell y'all some, but y'all ain't owning shit here. Sounds like people who love their country and said, you know what? We fed up with these colonizers trying to take our shit. Look like somebody stood 10 toes down and said, get the fuck off my land. And we left. So you trying to come 25, 30 some years later, acting like we just had this deal like last year, 2-3 years ago? Again, America trying to make itself look like it's not the bad guy, like something was stolen from them. No, you was stealing from them and they took their shit back. It's crazy. I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand how we acting like we're the better people by going over to another country and taking the shit. When they kicked this out, you got to ask yourself, why did they do it? Probably because their resources were being scarce or something, or they decided, you know what? We got this resource. We need to put money back into our country and make our country better. We got to invest in our people. This is the resource in which we can do it. We're giving these resources away to people. No, we can't do that no more. It's ours. Same shit any other leader would have done for their country, especially if their country was hurt or needed some kind of progression. If we needed to make America great again, so to speak, they'd start doing things as well, which they have been doing, shutting things down, trying to figure out where they can get more money. Donald Trump and his minions know that this country can't get richer unless they steal somebody else's shit. That's why they've been mentioning taking Canada as a 51st state. They need somebody else's revenue. We need to go out and find other people's resources. We got to start colonizing again. Don't work hard. Let's go steal some shit. That's why they want Greenland. Again, try and find some resources that we can steal and say we bought, but we got to steal it because we got to build. In order to get richer, we got to do that. Our resources are going to be down. We're not building anything. We're not producing anything. We got to find countries that can produce stuff. Oh, Venezuela produced oil. Let's see if we can get them. And if they had their way, they'd start a war tomorrow and kill everybody off and claim Venezuela as the 51st fucking state. Way over there. Yeah, that's part of America now. It's ours. All our oil. They'd do it if they could. If Congress would say yay, you have no doubt, you should not have any doubt, that they would sit there and have an all-out war with Venezuela, kill everybody they can just to take over the land so they can own the oil and become more powerful and therefore pay off their debts and all this shit like that. and have more power in different regions. You got to think like a demon in order to quite get them. And it's scary to think like a demon because you got to really kind of turn your heart down to evil, to like, I don't give a fuck, in order to be able to explain it, to be able to see it clearly. You got to become one of them somewhat to see their vision. I said it here first. Ain't none of these reporters saying it. I said it a while back ago, and it finally came out of this fucker's mouth. Giving us the land back in oil. The reporter was like, what land? Well, they took some land and oil, whatever it is, we're going to take it back. That's what he's saying. He didn't even know exactly what the whole deal is. I guarantee you, he don't even know what happened. He just know that these billionaires want their oil back, and under Donald Trump, they don't have a problem with any of it. I would not doubt some of them are probably funding this whole thing because they want that oil back. And Donald Trump is a big enough idiot to fuck America's like standing across the entire fucking world up for billionaires giving him money. Just like the other people have said, follow the money and you'll see why Donald Trump is doing what he's doing. Exactly what I did was like, where's the money at in this? We're spending money. What are we trying to get over there? Drug people, please. And then he let go of a drug person, the person who burnt 400 tons of the shit into our country, the shit that's actually killing us. Let him go while out there killing people who was bringing cocaine to Europe, possibly, if they even had drugs on it. I don't even trust they had drugs on it. I think that's a cover-up even for the Democrats. Because if you have not had like 1 ounce of that cocaine or whatever those drugs were picked up and put into your vehicle or held anywhere, you can't say those things are drugs. I don't care what anybody. It's white. I don't care. Could have been anything else. Could have been sugar for all we know. We don't know. Not going to trust it unless you pull some of that shit out of the ocean and show the American people that's what it was. You didn't bring no evidence back. You blew up everything. Expect us to believe it. Nope. We don't trust y'all. And we're trusting you less and less. And any Democrats not wanting any kind of facts, you're shady. You go into these rooms and come out and say, oh, they're drugs. But how? Did they show you a sample of it? You got to justify something with us. We ain't just taking your words no more. Your words are trash. Evidence is everything. Because you guys lie so much, evidence is all we want. We don't want your words. Your words are trash. All y'all. Every last Republican, Democrat, Independent, your words are trash. Show us the evidence. Show us your actions. Show us the plans. Show us the strategies. Your mouth moving and just talking about bullet points, tell that shit to your mama because we don't want to hear it. Tell us how you plan on doing shit. Strategy. Structure. I don't want to hear, we're going to save everything. That don't mean shit to me. Save what? Taxes, save your money, save rent. I don't give, what is it? What's the save shit? They don't mean nothing to me. Tell me what you're going to do specifically. Quit speaking in fucking parables and just terms and shit instead of actually telling us what you're going to do. Donald Trump got out there today, had this little press conference saying, you know, we're going to bring everything back. We're going to give you, you know, this Trump RX and all. Man, get the fuck out of here with these businesses you're trying to push on everybody. Even if that shit work, I don't trust you. You got a trust problem. I wouldn't go to no Trump RX nothing. I don't care if Donald Trump said, oh, you can go to this place and get $1 million. I wouldn't go to a Trump RX nothing. Trump get anything because the moment you take it, something about it is dirty. Something about it is illegal. You done did some type of crime just by dealing with this dude. No, thank you. I'd rather stay clean. He's dirty. He was at this function. You can see back in the background, if you didn't get a chance to see it, Susie Wiles in the back in a white coat. She's a part of the whole clan, still hanging out with him. Donald Trump would have had her ass on a one-way ticket to some fucking place else. It would never ride with him again. He couldn't trust her. She's right-hand woman. And person he whispers to and shit. Talk about crazy. My feet hurt. You know, all the crazy shit he's probably saying to her that she's like, I don't, why am I with this dude? All that. The random bullshit that he has. The dementia questions he's got for her. She's taking it all in. And this dude is like, oh, she's fine. Doing a great job. Just called you an alcoholic personality. And the only reason I say that is wag the dog, I guarantee you that alcoholic personality phrase, they worked it over with Donald Trump before they called him that. That's why he's not pissed off about it. It's his strategy. It's his wag the dog. You think they'd do shit without Donald Trump? Haven't you learned already? They don't move unless Donald Trump tells them to move. They don't jump unless Donald Trump tells them to jump. Everything, that's why he got them. You think he got people in there that would do shit on their own? He had that before in the first presidency and kept up running against people and getting pissed. You notice his first presidency, he didn't go a year without firing at least, I would say, 30 people. At least. People were falling out of that place every month. People he brought into the organization. Hell, that one speaker he brought in lasted 11 days. He hasn't really fired anyone. And anybody who's leaving is leaving on their own accord, it seems. Bongino bouncing. Bongino hid once he found out what those files were all about. He had to go on Fox and a few other places. Look, like I said, if you go back and look at it, looking sick as a dog, that he had to sit here and play this role of, I am working for a pedophile and I know it now. I got the facts and I can't say nothing about it. Eating him alive. Now he's coming out. The question is, when he comes out, what's he going to do? Is he going to Marjorie Taylor Greene it and come out with some common sense and be like, yo, even though it's still batshit crazy, the files, I seen them, and yeah, Donald Trump is in them, and we need to release them. Is he going to say that? Because since everybody found that Donald Trump has been in them, you haven't heard Bongino say shit. They was walking around talking about, ain't nothing in them, nothing to see here, at these little interviews they had on Fox. But once Pam Bondi or Kash Patel told Pam Bondi, and Pam Bondi told Donald Trump that he's all over these files and they hired all these FBI, which Dan Bongino works for the FBI. They hired all of them. It was then that Dan Bongino stopped showing his ass in any news, any articles, any TV shows, nothing. He's never been in. In fact, right after that, he stopped really working and they hired some white dude, took his place. I don't know his name. Took his place, and he was working and doing the work that Dan Bongino's supposed to be doing. Dan Bongino's been sitting there in limbo collecting a check. The question is, why was he there all this time once he stopped doing his job and some white dude comes in and starts doing his job for him? What happened to Dan Bongino? Why was he still there when he said he was basically out? He stopped working. That some other dude had to come in and do his work. How is it that two people getting paid handsomely, I'm sure, to do the exact same fucking job? And all that didn't happen until these Epstein files came out with Donald Trump's name in it. Which means Dan Bongino saw the files. The non-redacted files. And he hasn't been the same since. Is he going to come out and man up? Or he going to sit out and bitch out? I'm pretty sure he's going to come out and be straight bitch because he ain't going to mention nothing. He's going to be scared for his life. So coming out getting a podcast, he's going to talk to these MAGA nuts. But why would y'all trust this man when he's literally going to come out and hide the fact that he knows? I can't wait till he gets back on the podcast because somebody needs to ask him the question. So did Donald Trump, was he in it? Was he in the files? See how he acts. And then call his ass out. Like, oh, okay, so you found out he was fucking with little children, so you decided to leave instead of stand up for the women. You haven't come out and said anything positive about these women. You haven't asked to talk to them, nothing. So I thought you was for these women, but you never had a conversation with these women. You gonna have them on your show and support them once you get out, get back to your show? These are the questions you need to ask Bongino. MAGA, the people who watch the waterhead bastard do his thing, let him. Go ahead and do it. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens. I'm waiting to see it. I might have to watch just so that I can hear that. But I ain't gonna hold my breath because this man acted like he gave a damn about people. He was fighting for these women who got raped as children. And when it was time to actually be somebody who stepped up and supported him because you actually had access to the files, you kept your lip closed. You got pissed at Bondi and you stopped working and collected a check from the American people. And now you're quitting in less than a year of being in your position. Let's hear what you got to say when you come out. That's all I'm saying. I just want to see what he's got to say when he comes out. Now, not too much more left to go today because I'm gonna try and go see a little bit more of these interviews to kind of let myself understand, and also a little bit more about dive into the Venezuelan oil where America had some kind of deal with them or something like that. In other countries, I believe too, that they ended up saying Venezuela said, we just want to be making Venezuela great again. It's our shit, and we just gonna keep it. And we'll sell something to you, but we ain't gonna let you have land. Now, a lot of this happens in other countries already, and I'm not talking about necessarily resources. I'm just saying, like a friend of mine many years ago was trying to buy property in like Mexico. He's not a resident. Now he can rent property, but he can never own property. Now I don't know if they changed that or not because it's over, I'll say 15 years ago or so, maybe a little bit longer. He was trying to buy land there, and they said he can rent the land, but he can't have the land. So there are a lot of people who live over there, but they'll never own the property because they're not natural born citizens. You can become a citizen. I don't even know if you can, and I don't know how that shit works in Mexico. But he couldn't get the property, so he said, but he couldn't own it. He wasn't going to buy it. But a lot of countries do that. So what's wrong with Venezuela doing that about their land, about their resources? It's the precious resources. That's what keep their country going. That's what I'm sure they're the most wealthiest at. You know what I'm saying? That's how their country is rolling. I'm pretty sure that oil supports a lot of what their country is doing, seeing as how they have the deepest reserves, the largest reserves in the world. Right? So if that's what's the largest reserves you have, then of course that's going to be supporting your lifestyle, your country's lifestyle. Your Venezuelan citizens are getting probably their health care through that oil. They're probably getting, the products that they buy are getting to that country through their oil. Their government system, the way it's set up. I don't know Venezuela. I know it's the guy who's leading it now. I guess Maduro, dictator, won't turn over certain things. All these things are horrible, but that's the government aspect. You don't know what the people are living through. People could be loving where they live and they love the whole structure. We don't know. But I mean, you can hear, I'm pretty sure some people say certain things. In America, we got people who love it, we got people who hate it. So I'm pretty sure it's the same in other countries. But those are the types of things that I really want to know. And I'm going to start doing some more research on that. I am Aaliyah K. So remember the days when Obama's tan suit was our only problem? Yeah, I remember that. I remember Fox and all these right-wing organizations were going crazy over a tan suit. And I'm sitting there like, let me look this shit up. George Bush, the junior, which I remember if he had not been with his middle name, but George Bush Senior, junior rather, he wore a tan suit. Reagan wore a tan suit. His father wore a tan suit. I don't know for sure if Clinton wore a tan suit, but they've all, I say all, many of them, at least 4 of them have worn tan suits. We ain't heard about nobody's tan suit but the black guys. Tell me this is not a racist country. They made it seem like this dude was going on holiday or something. He was working his butt off. They're sitting there talking about, acting like he was unserious president because he wore a tan suit. And the thing that's killing me about that was that you would sit there and watch it as a black person. You're like, they don't see, the people who are watching this don't see that this is like trivial as hell. It's a suit. The fuck? I mean, didn't he like have a policy you didn't like or something? You literally talking about what the clothes he got on his back, the color of it. Now there's presidents they can only wear a certain color. Like, man, get the hell out of here, boy. That's some weird shit. That you tell somebody they gotta wear a uniform. It's gotta be this, and not realize that Reagan, the president they love so much, they Reagan. I'm a Reagan Republican. Wore a tan suit. I'll never get that, Aaliyah. I have no idea what that's all about. He did make it look great, DJ. He looked great in the suit. Our president, Obama, was one cool, fly dude. I mean, a president that could play basketball with the best of them, shoot threes, just too calm and cool, could sing and shit. He wasn't like a greatest singer, but, you know, he pop off. He wasn't afraid to sing in front of an audience. Where he say, "Let's stay together," something like that. I remember that. Yeah, that was some good years. I understand there were some things politically and drones and stuff like that that weren't like things that most Americans did not want. Every president has their moments in that situation, but there was never a scandal with him. That's what tripped me out. I just knew one day I was gonna wake up and they were gonna say something about Obama, that Obama has a third child from a homeless woman or some shit. I'll be like, damn, they got him. I was like, one day they gonna do something, because they were on that 24/7 to find dirt on on Obama. And out of 8 years and counting, they still haven't found anything. I was like, sheesh, that was crazy. Not only was he one of the best I think the best president we've ever had. Not only that, you didn't have a scandal. Wasn't no girl trying to blow him off in a room like with Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no real like backdoor deals like they was doing with Bush's son and his father with the Saudi Arabians. There was none of that crazy shit at all with him. Not all this crap with Donald Trump, none of that. It was always calm. When you heard the president speak, it was inspirational. When you heard your countries, it was inspirational. When other countries spoke to him, every country except for like Russia with his little, tiny man syndrome shit, everybody was like loving being with our president. That's what America to me felt like. America like was going somewhere. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna have a woman president. America's moving forward. We're not moving backwards. And then we got this whole core of white racists and Sambos and super coons and the Latin people who hate everybody trying to be white and all this shit. We got all of them bringing the country down. I was like, ain't this a bitch? We were just going here, and these racist fucks had to try and drag us back down to Racistville. And this country has went way below that. We in like demon nation right now. Demons running around all over the place doing shit. If you don't call what Donald Trump is doing to Venezuelans a demonic thing, I don't know what the fuck you call it. You don't believe in demons. It sure as the hell ain't close to heaven. It's no angelic shit. This is evil what they're doing to them. And by the way, what they are doing is what we are doing. So we are under that umbrella of this is what America represents to the world. They're not looking at us individually. They're looking at us as a group. And so Americans are what Donald Trump's stupid shit is. We're all seeing, they're looking at us through that lens. And I wish voters would understand that. The president, when we were with Obama, the country looked at us differently, in a better way. Why? Because I want y'all to, this is what I miss. More so than any policy, I miss the way America felt. Under Obama, when he was running for president, he went on a tour to other countries talking about what's great and what we can do in America, we can do in Germany, we can do in France. He went on tour, y'all. You would think the second coming came. I was shocked to see how many millions of people would show up to just see him speak. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I didn't understand that at all. But what it made me proud of is that they came to see America in a light that they were happy to see America move toward. The entire world, except for the tyrants of this fucking world. But all the free country, all the like democratic countries, was in love with this man. And I was like, the way they see him, they see America. And I was like, yeah, that's us. And then Trump comes in. The way they see him, they see America. And I'm like, fuck, that's us. They see us as uneducated, stinky, wearing diapers and shit. They see us uncouth. They see us like as capitalists to the core. They see us as being able to destroy people's lives and murder people just for oil. They see us as bullies. They see us as just people who just don't get it. People who don't want to be global. They want to be colonizers again. They see us as cave people. And they see us as stupid. All of that because that's what we elected. And if you don't recognize as people who didn't vote, if you don't recognize as people who are so far left that you don't understand politics, you just want to be the kink in the armor. This country is looked at the way it's looked at because you guys did not show up. You got to show up. If you don't show up, the next president, none of these Republicans, is going to make us look horrible. And not only that, we might end up in World War III with another Republican president. The shit they're going through, allowing all the shit. You haven't even heard nothing about Ukraine. How are they doing? They so far back in the news. We're supposed to be working on a peace deal with them. How's this shit going? We should keep our eye on that because if Russia ends up taking that over and they do exactly what they said they're going to do, they're going to go to war, take land back from Poland. Those countries we have to fight. We're at World War III at that point. Republicans in office. That's what is getting us. Broke and about to send your kids, your babies, your husbands, your wives to their own deaths just because you have a dumbass who don't know how to do shit running the country. And your standards of putting somebody in the presidency is somebody you can either have a beer with or somebody who seems like they're cool to you. Other than that, just craziness. The last Republican we had put us in a fucking 20-year war. This one is about to put us in another one. Learn from your mistakes. Damn. Quit making the same ones. Fucking crazy. I see you, Corey. Corey says, I don't see the U.S. regaining respect again for a very long time. I don't either. You can't just do this and expect people to try to like, get that luster back. It's going to take a while because, again, they think through strength we're going to get respect. But here's the problem. We made China a superpower. How do we do it? We send all our industries over there. The shit that we need comes from there. And we don't have enough industries right now. If China said we ain't going to sell y'all shit no more, we just sell it to all the rest of the world. We could be without America. It's 300-something million, y'all. There's billions of us on this land, on this sphere. There's billions of us. You're 300 million. We don't need you. And when they do that, well, you got China, you got Japan, you got them doing deals with Mexico, Brazil, and all these other countries, Korea, South Korea. I mean, they don't need us. All they got to do is exchange the dollar for something else. The BRIC system, it's a wrap for America. It's a wrap. They don't need us. In this country, just because we have weapons, we're going to have to kill people to get them back on the train. But again, you got too many countries that or go against us that have nukes too. So would we win? Don't know. If North Korea, if China, and other countries that have nukes, Russia, get together, and all of them unleash their nukes, even though supposedly North Korea's nukes wouldn't make it to America. I don't know. That's what they say, but still, we could be in some trouble. I'm sure. I ain't saying that we wouldn't win it completely, but not without losing millions of lives. We might make it out 340. We might make it out with 40 million left. 300 might be gone. But do we want that? Fuck no. We don't want a war, let alone an annihilation. And that's what this man is leading us to. The next president has to come in and fix this fuck up. And then we're going to get stupid people who forget about the fact that this orange dude fucked us up over for that we got to fix it for 20 years. You're going to put a Republican back in the office after 4 years of a Democrat president because you're going to be told, look how he's messing this up. Look what happened to this. Because our country's going to go through some shit after he's done. Oh, yeah, we're going straight fucking down. Even when he comes out, the next president, if it's a Democrat, is going to have hell rain fire on him or her. Why? All the fucked up shit Donald Trump did, you think we can fix it in a 4-year term, an 8-year term, a 16-year term? Meaning 2 Democrat presidents back to back couldn't fix what Donald Trump is fucking up. We'd have to have at least 30 years of 30 to 40 years of all Democrats in office in order to fix the fuck up they've done. To pay down any of the debt that we've got, it's going to have to be at least 20 to 40 years of fucking Democrat rule. But this country forgets too fucking quick. They hate too fucking fast. That first term Donald Trump fucked up, Biden fixed a shit ton of it in 4 years. We still had something to go. In 8 years, we probably could have climbed out of it. We were doing better than any other country, even though we had it within a year or two. He took the rate from 9% to 3%, dropped 6% in about 2 years. Donald Trump ain't dropped shit in a year that he's been here. We were at 3%, we still at 3, if not 3 point something. How a man take his country from 9% down to 3, 6% drop, and Donald Trump can't even drop a 0.5% in a year. He's done nothing. And he won't do nothing. Not because he can't do anything. He don't know what the fuck he's doing. He has no clue. Donald Trump is not smart, y'all. Nope. Ask any other president has ever in the history had professors say he is the dumbest motherfucker I ever met. And he says that, motherfucker, he said, dumbest goddamn student I ever had. These are exact words that came out of one of his professor's mouths. The dumbest goddamn student I've ever had. You know, this man been teaching there for fucking a long ass time to say that Donald Trump was the dumbest. And he couldn't just say he's the dumbest student. He was the dumbest goddamn student I ever had. He was visceral. It pissed him off how stupid he was. And this country put somebody that dumb as the president. Not once, but twice. You can't find a teacher that ever said that about me. And I'm pretty sure you can't find a teacher who ever said it about you. So it takes a special dipshit to literally have a professor call you the dumbest goddamn student he ever had. I'm sure he had students that had like issues, mental issues, people who were just not smart because they were handicapped to some degree. They were smarter than Donald Trump by far. And just because he was rich, it bought him some kind of fake ass intellect. Mm. I hear that, Dennis. He said I was giving Trump credit. But yeah, it was just some of the craziest stuff. And I mean, I'm not from New York. I'm gonna leave it at this here because it's just one. It ain't even a lighthearted. It's just a part of the continuation of what Donald Trump is doing to this country. It's not just a possible war or this fake war in Venezuela, or the possible World War III with Russia and Ukraine. It's like what's going on in Israel, right? We ain't even talking about that either with Israel, right? And what they're doing, right? It's like all these fires are going on, and all of them's got Trump's like footstep on it, his footprint, and let alone what he's setting fire to in this country. Jimmy Kimmel got canceled for a bit, and then we fought and got him back within days, right? Now, if you're a person from New York, you would know recently, just this past Friday, uh, the Ebro show on Hot 97 canceled, and Ebro himself says that he believes it's because of Trump and their minions, because they're going through some kind of sale right now, or at least the head people are trying to get investments of some sort at Ebro's Hot 97, and this is his perception of it, and they decided to let them go because they were so political. Now, I watch that every once in a while, Ebro. You know, I see it on YouTube, and I check it out. They got somebody on there. I listen and stuff like that. But during the presidency run with Kamala Harris, I watched more of Hot 97, and Ebro was on one, and I mean a good one. You know what I'm saying? He was on it. Ebro was like, I just didn't know what his brother stood really politically, and when I saw him speak and how he was, I was like, oh, that's a real one. I did not know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had throughout the years, people had smoke for Ebro, and smoke had they just going back and forth. And I don't really get into that type of drama about personality shit like friends and dating this and doing this and business. I don't care about that shit. But they have all the gossipy shit, and they would go back and forth of who they liked, they didn't like. But when he started speaking politics and started speaking about being black and about the issues that we have in this country, I was like, finally got a voice that's talking. We ain't got no Kanye Wests out here, these candidates, Candace Owens. We got somebody who's on the radio that's really talking about something. You know what I'm saying? And I respected him for that. And then when I found out the show was gone, I was like, wow. I just found out, was it yesterday, I believe. I know I heard rumblings of something about happening with Ebro yesterday. It was today that I actually did the research and said, oh shit. And they were gone like last minute. Last Friday was their last show, and they like found out, I think the day of their last show or some shit. I haven't looked deep into it, but the way they talked about, they got a phone call, and it was just very, we got to talk to you tomorrow type of thing. And it's all right, cool. Got the phone call, and the person on the end, I guess they had the lawyers or whoever on the end. Yeah, today's going to be your last day, blah, blah, blah. That was it. It's going to be the last day, done. And I forgot how they said it, but it was kind of like a legalese way of saying it. But they had the dude that they were cool with this entire time they worked with. And he's like, oh, so it's going to be like that? You're going to have this legal person calling me? I don't work for you all these years. You know what I'm saying? You could hit me up even ahead of time. We're professional type of shit. And they did that corporate bullshit of firing people like last second without letting them know, because they talk a lot of political stuff, and they're trying to get some kind of new investment or whatever it is, and the people coming in don't want that, and they don't want that type of talk. They just want you guys to play music, have fun, basically be little sheep, don't say nothing political, make people happy, and stop talking about the other shit. And then, so what happens when they tell you can't talk about the issues that affect you and your family? So you're just telling people to be quiet about some shit, said, why don't you go tell the people who fucking up shit to stop fucking up so that we don't have to talk about it? We can have a better country that way. But to be quiet about it is to be complacent with it. To say, okay, I'm okay with it. And I saw this one girl, it was a white girl on, I believe, TikTok. And she does a lot of dancing, and everybody kind of likes her dancing. But to be honest, her dancing ain't even all that. I mean, I'm guessing because she's having fun with it. I don't know. But anyway, she's starting to pick up a little bit. And she got a quote from some white dude that told her, she said something, I guess, political. And he's like, you need to stop talking, and start, just continue dancing. We love you that way. And she just spoke up for herself, say, you know what? And one thing that she said, instead of like going really off, she said, basically, she didn't say these words, but like, miss me with that BS. She didn't cuss. She just said, you don't understand the privilege you have. You're a white guy, and you want people to like basically like shut up and play basketball type of mentality. And it's like, what about the people who are going through it? They're not supposed to talk about the things they're going through just because you don't want to talk about it. The privilege that you have, that you don't want to hear it. You just want to see the dancing and entertaining, and you can just shut it off because it doesn't affect you. So the people who it's affecting are supposed to be quiet about what's happening to them because you don't want to hear it. She said, wow, that's a privilege. And you need to just basically bug off, because I'm going to keep talking about people because I am, she said, I'm a white woman and I'm privileged, and I know that. And I struggle with what right to say and what's wrong to say. But the way I do it is I learn. I don't sit here and not say nothing and be complacent with it. Those are the right words. Nobody had to tell her. It's what she felt. It's what she sought out. She knew she had privilege, and this white guy was telling her to be quiet because none of that shit bothers my life. And you're boring me with all these problems these people have. But let this man be a farmer, and Donald Trump isn't helping him lose his farm. This fool will be out here telling everybody and his mama, I'm about to lose my cattle, I'm about to lose this, and I'm having a new baby, I just lost my job. But like, shut up with that, bro. We don't want to hear it. It's crazy how people don't give a shit about nobody, but want you to give a shit about them. Just crazy. But I remember that. But they moved on to a YouTube channel in which it's Ebro, forgot, and Rubus, I forgot her last name, but yeah, or his last name rather. But their show is on YouTube. It's not their original name of their show. It's just their last names. All right. So you can watch them, support them if you want. But yeah, I learned more about that today. And, for Ebro and the team, thank you for all y'all did, man. You didn't deserve this, but I look at it this way. When a door closes, another one opens. I got a feeling an entire new building is going to be developed for you instead of being another door opening. An entire building is going to be for you. The people who followed you and listened to you on Hot 97, they're going to follow you over here. They will. Just keep doing what you do because it worked for so long. You didn't lose out because of your ratings. You lost out because of Trump and a lot of these companies. And this is one of the last things I'm going to say about this. When was the last time that you saw so many companies buying up companies? It is insane how many companies are going through buyouts right now. Everywhere you turn. Ebro and their company is going through some kind of buyout shit, I guess. Getting investments. You got Netflix. Then Netflix just bought a bunch of music places. They bought their competitor. I think, what is it? The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast, whatever, in the morning with Charlamagne the God. Netflix just bought them up and a few other places that have to deal with music while they're at the same time waiting to buy up all these other Warner Brothers. I'm like, damn, you buying up Warner Brothers, and while you're waiting on that to happen, you got enough money to go over and buy up The entire station that that Charlemagne the God and all them are on. I'm like, damn, these people. Why can't we just have separate businesses, yo? It's better that way because when you get a huge business, I guarantee you, in the next 5 to 10 years, they're gonna be selling these companies off because they're gonna be losing their fucking shirts. These corporations buying up everything. These corporations very rarely succeed with all these businesses. They end up selling them off 2 and 3 and 4 times. I know I went through a CBS buyouts. They went from 2000, from I said from 99, no, 2001, I believe. From 2001 to like 2015, 16, they went through a shit ton of buyouts. It was like a buyout every year or two. You'd be like, damn, another one? Because they bought up all this shit, started to see how they work together, realized they didn't work well together. The stock was all messed up. So they split them up into multiple different companies. And CBS went here and here. And the CEO there and there went all over the place. Then the CEOs got fired and shit, scandals here, left and right. It was just a clusterfuck. And that's what happens when you put too many companies together. You don't know what this CEO is into. You don't know what that CEO is into. And buying all this shit, you don't know how well the businesses are actually running. You get them and find out they're not doing the numbers that they said they were doing. Now you got to get investment. It's just a clusterfuck. Let these individual companies be. Quit trying to be a monopoly. Let it be so that America can be great for once. We had companies before, there was just one company and you had competitors, and therefore being in a competitive situation, you had to bust your butt and make shit happen. But when you own the entire market, you ain't got to do shit. You ain't got to have no price comparisons, nothing. Across the board, if you own that entire spectrum of apps or whatever, you set the price. And everybody has to pay it no matter what. There's no competition. I mean, you're robbing creativity. You're robbing people who come up with great ideas by buying them up and making it all corporate instead of making it. You understand something? When you're a small company, you can move fast. You can listen to your customers or clients and make decisions like that. We're going to move this way. Boom. We're going to do it for them. We're going to do it. When you're a large corporation, you're slow as a turtle. You got a structure that's working. You don't want to tamper with it at all. And that's how you end up losing businesses. That's how Blockbuster failed and Netflix took them over. It's because Blockbuster was this huge corporation that moved slowly. Netflix was this small company that would send you CDs and they'd move fast as hell. So Democrats, for me personally, we need to work on this monopoly type of thing because it just seems like we've allowed these companies to become monopolies, and I don't understand how we release that. It's messing with the creativity of this country. It's messing with the upper, because when they got so many people, they'll have one person working out of one building doing the job for Netflix and for Warner Brothers. That's just one person doing one job for both of them. So therefore, we're like, you got rid of a job, if not 5 jobs, and have one person doing it for all these businesses. That's less jobs. If it was 4 different companies, it'd be 4 different jobs needed for that position. I don't see how we don't think like that. I don't understand how we're destroying the country like that. But anyway, if you don't know that, go look it up. But that's how it's been. But Ebro, everybody, thank you for your service. I mean, and when I mean service, like being on the air for so long and helping people in different ways. It wasn't just politics. You guys helped people who had issues, and you donated to different things, and you filled some area, a gap that people liked and needed to hear every day on your morning shows and stuff like that. Hopefully they can come to you on your YouTube, or you get on a podcast and something. You guys have figured out. You're smart people. So I just wanted to say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got to figure out something. And I'm working on it with Avid Solutionists. We can't just continue to watch this shit fall apart and expect it to come back together again. I think they're trying to destroy this country rebuild it in a vision of a capitalist who doesn't give a fuck about anybody. They wanted a business person to be the president. And what they've shown us is that a business person breaks shit more than they fix shit. And Donald Trump is the type of person who breaks shit, and he breaks it fast. Every day he's breaking something. In every little situation, every industry that he's touching, we have to fix it because he's going to fuck it up. There's no doubt. How can you have an entire career of fucking up every business you owned and somehow become the president and don't think he's not going to continue fucking up everything else? It doesn't make any sense. That's the problem. Just doesn't make any sense. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You know how you can support the show. I appreciate it. Follow me, subscribe to me, to all my different programs I'm doing here. I got YouTube, I got TikTok, Mr. Straight Facts 23 on TikTok, YouTube here. You already see it. But you can always tell somebody, tell a friend, whatever it may be. Thanks to my members and subscribers. I love y'all. And we're going to be doing Avid Solutions at the beginning of the year. It's we are going to work on the problems that we face and how this country treats the American people. It's time that the American people stand up and do the right things for themselves. Instead of waiting on our government to decide anything, I think it's time for the people to step up and become we the people instead of me the people. We're going to always have those me people. But what I'm looking for are those we people. People that want strategies, solutions. They want to end problems. They want to be able to create a we the people type lobbying type of thing, because we ain't going to get rid of lobbyists. So we got to try and do that ourselves and be able to lobby for our rights. Everything that we want in this country to be. And first of all, we got to talk about those things. And that's what I'm going to be doing with Avid Solutionists. We're going to be talking about the problems that we face on my Straight Facts No Chaser show. We're going to be talking about all these problems that we mentioned today. We're going to be thinking about solutions on how to make this country what we see it to be. We keep on waiting for our leaders to make, and they fail at every turn. I don't trust them anymore. I look forward to talking to people who want the world to be different, and to work for us all, and then decide upon solutions and strategies, and then just implement them. Just like we talk about our solutions and strategies of, let's get this billionaire company to pay attention and we stop buying their product for a week or so. I'm like, let's just replace them. Let's just replace them. And it doesn't take all of us. It just takes a few of us, to even a few million of us, to just literally say, we're done with it and we're looking forward to make America actually great. Not again. It hasn't been there yet. It's gotten better, but it ain't great just yet. And we have to do that. And that means products. That means hitting up these small mom and pop or small farms and seeing how we can get these farms to get food directly to us and skip these big ass stores. That means, coming up with new ways to give artists opportunity to make money and keep the majority of their money, and cut out the record labels and start dealing directly with the artists themselves. That means structuring it so that the people are empowered and not just a cog in the situation. You're just a piece of it when you're the actual core of it. You feel me? If you're an artist and you're singing and you're entertaining and helping people get through stress and strife and happiness and joy and weddings and all that, then you should receive everything God gave you. You shouldn't be like getting a portion of what God gave you because some little rich bastard decided to give you some money up front. No, make this stuff happen for ourselves. Take back the power. That's what I feel like. And that's what I'm working on with Avid Solutionist. Follow me on Avid Solutionist. I think it's up on YouTube, but there's nothing on it yet. You can go ahead, look up Avid Solutionist and follow me, even though I don't have content yet. On TikTok, the same. One word, Avid, AVID, Solutionist is solution. Spell that. Just add IST at the end of it. And we're going to go live and stuff like that at the beginning of the year. You're going to witness this thing just come together. And we're going to start talking about solutions to the problems that we face. And it doesn't have to be structure. I do solutions that deal with ecosystems, how to create. That's what God gave me a blessing for. You may be a technician or artist or whatever brilliant gift you got, your solution is to other people's problems too. And that's why we'll come together and be pretty much like a mastermind in which we're going to be helping each other grow instead of hoarding it. It's about helping people and being a part of a core group of people, like being mentors and being positive. And, you know, I love that. It may not seem like it when I'm on here, but when you realize what I do here, I'm just pissed off because people aren't showing that love, that people are being evil to people. So I fight. And so you'll see that side of me. But when you see that other side that's going to love, it's just as intense. All right. So we can't wait to do that beginning of the year. Hope it's in January. It might be beginning of February. Depends. But go follow it now, and we'll see you guys on the other side. You say you're a writer. See, we already got some great people in here. So we never know whom we may need. I remember when I was younger in my 20s, and I left film school, and I came to California, and my film school did not teach me what I needed. I needed a reel. They didn't tell me I needed a reel. So I didn't have one, even though I had one there. I put all these films and television shows that I shot there all on tape, but I didn't know I needed to have an edited reel. I should have. I wasn't prepared to come out to do what I needed to do. And those are the things that I was in my 20s looking for mentors and people to help me, and those people didn't show up. They didn't manifest themselves into my life, even though I was working on and stuff of that nature. But I realized that I had everything within me, and all I had to do was just do it. And then I would become the mentor to others, because that's what I was meant to be. So when we get where we want, like we can write, we can, you know, you're an accountant, you're you know, a science person, or you're a doctor, or you're a computer scientist, and you can write apps. We need those people, not working for the people that want to F you over for your talents, but those who want to build with you so that all of us can grow and start showing the world that it's a we thing. We're relying on these billionaires to do shit for us and to hire us for stuff. They always want to try to hire you at the cheapest they could possibly deal with. But when you work on a we level, you start to understand that without me, there's no you. And if you're at a level where you're creating businesses, of course you're going to be rich. But it's all about the structure in which you build your business. You ain't going to be rich because you have a business. You're going to be rich because you're helping other people become wealthier. And by doing that, 9 times out of 10, these people are going to be just as loyal as you are to them, and you'll all rise together. That's how most of these big corporations were. They were all broke, not the ones who started out wealthy like Elon Musk, but the people who started out kind of broke, barely making anything. They were programmers. They built apps. Facebook rose together, became billionaires together. Many of them just drank energy drinks and worked all throughout the night writing code. Didn't have a penny to their name. Somebody invested in them, and they're just staying up all night doing it. Now they're the richest people on the freaking planet, many of them. Even though many of them have left the Facebook Meta group. But that's what we have to do. Rise together. It's not a me thing, it's a we thing. And so I can't wait to start doing that and having fun with it, learning the history of all the creators in the world, what motivated them, and what's motivating us. And what's motivating me is to have a better world, a better country, then a better world. To say, hey, we can do this by looking after and for one another instead of trying to stab one another and fucking each other over. I'm done. I'm sick of that shit. I've never liked it. But you had to play that game because there was nothing else out there to play. And that's why I never won at that game. But I think if we focus on the we, those we people out there, just like me, we can win. Those me people, y'all can go somewhere. But the we can win together. Finally found the tribe. And you finally found those mentors ready to go. No matter how old you are. I don't care if you're 95 or if you're 5. I don't care. It's time for we focus on we and make this a stronger country than a better world. All right? And so you know, it's all right. You here though. I see, Jan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow with some more facts. You know what we do. Just tell the truth. People don't like it, too bad. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. I'll see you when I see you.